Imagine walking into a room and people do a double take. Not because you changed your clothes, but because you changed your energy. They can't quite place it, but something about you is different. Stronger, more certain, more powerful. That's not luck. That's transformation. In just 1 week, you can become a version of yourself that people don't just recognize, they respect. But first, you need to break free from who you were yesterday. Too many of us live inside a mold we've built for ourselves. We act the same, we talk the same, we even think the same. And because of that, people have already decided who we are. If you want to become unrecognizable, you need to disrupt those patterns. Transformation is not a mystery. It doesn't happen by chance, and it certainly doesn't happen to those who wander through life without a clear direction. If you want to become powerful and unrecognizable in just 1 week, the first step is clarity. Clarity is the foundation upon which transformation is built. Without it, change is nothing more than chaos. Most people go through life reacting. They wake up and respond to whatever the day throws at them. Their energy is dictated by external forces, social media, emails, other people's expectations. They live on autopilot, drifting wherever life pushes them. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, uninspired, and unnoticed. If you don't define who you want to be, the world will define it for you. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about unlocking the version of yourself that has been buried under distraction, self-doubt, and fear. It requires brutal honesty. Who are you right now? More importantly, who do you want to be? The answer to that question isn't found in books or podcasts. It's found in the quiet moments when you strip away the noise and ask yourself what truly matters. Start with a vision. Picture the person you admire most, not in a superficial way, but in terms of presence, confidence, and impact. What do they embody that you don't yet? Is it their discipline, their ability to command respect without saying a word, their relentless pursuit of growth? Understand that the only difference between you and them is clarity and action. They know exactly who they are becoming, and every decision they make aligns with that vision. The problem with most people is that they chase power without understanding what it actually means to them. Some think power is money. Some think it's status. Others think it's dominance over others. But real power, the kind that makes you unrecognizable in just 1 week, is about influence. It's about energy. It's about how you show up, how you think, how you move. And clarity is what gives you that power. So take a step back and define it for yourself. What does power look like in your life? Is it the ability to walk into a room and have people feel your presence without you saying a word? Is it having complete control over your emotions, never reacting out of insecurity? Is it the discipline to follow through on what you said you'd do, no matter how small? Power is built through these micro decisions. The next step is alignment. Once you're clear on who you want to become, you must act like that person now. Not tomorrow, not next month, now. Every thought, every action, every word must be filtered through this new identity. When you wake up, ask yourself, how would the most powerful version of me start this day? When faced with a decision, ask, would the person I want to become say yes to this? If the answer is no, you don't do it. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That's a good sign. It means you're disrupting old patterns. The reason people fail to transform is that they cling to their current identity, even when it no longer serves them. But if you want to be unrecognizable, you have to let go of who you were yesterday. This is how clarity creates transformation. It forces you to eliminate distractions. It forces you to move with intention. It forces you to take full responsibility for your life. When you operate with this level of focus, the world around you changes. People look at you differently. They feel something different when you speak, when you walk into a room, when you work. And suddenly, in just 1 week, you're no longer the person they thought you were. You've become powerful. You've become unrecognizable. People recognize you because you are predictable. You wake up at the same time, follow the same routines, speak the same way, think the same thoughts, and react to situations in the same manner. Over time, this predictability creates a fixed identity in the minds of others and in your own mind as well. But if you want to become powerful and unrecognizable in just 1 week, you need to break free from these patterns. Most people are stuck in cycles they don't even realize they're trapped in. They have been living the same way for years, repeating habits that no longer serve them. They go to work, complain about the same problems, scroll through social media, seek validation from others, and make excuses for why they haven't changed. The truth is, they don't change because they don't disrupt their patterns. If you want people to look at you and think, something is different about them, you have to shake things up. You must become unpredictable in the best way possible. You must force yourself into discomfort because that's where transformation happens. Start with your routines. What do you do every day that keeps you in the same mental and physical state? If you wake up late, start waking up early. If you waste time on meaningless distractions, cut them out completely. If you go to the gym and do the same workout, push yourself harder, lift heavier, run faster, train with more intensity, your body and mind will respond to the change. Change how you speak. If you always complain, stop immediately. If you always agree to things you don't want to do, start saying no. If you're used to staying silent in conversations, start speaking up with confidence. People will notice the shift because it disrupts their expectations of you. Change your environment. Your surroundings shape your thoughts more than you realize. If you spend time in places that drain your energy, leave them. If the people around you don't inspire growth, limit your interactions with them. Seek out environments that challenge you, that force you to think bigger and act bolder. Your mind is the biggest battlefield. Most of the patterns that keep you stuck are mental. You think the same thoughts, dwell on the same insecurities, and believe the same limiting stories about yourself. To break this, you must introduce new inputs into your mind. Read books that shift your perspective. Listen to powerful speeches that make you uncomfortable. Journal your thoughts and question the beliefs that hold you back. If you do this consistently, you will start thinking in ways you never have before. The most powerful transformation happens when you change how you carry yourself, your posture, your eye contact, your energy. All of these things send signals to the world. If you've been walking through life with your shoulders down, lift them up. If you've been avoiding eye contact, start holding it with confidence. If your presence has been weak, strengthen it by standing with certainty. People don't just recognize you by your face, they recognize you by the way you exist in a space. When that shifts, you become unrecognizable. Breaking your patterns is uncomfortable because it forces you to let go of your old self. But that's exactly what needs to happen. The person you were yesterday will not get you to where you want to be. You must be willing to change, to do things differently, to step into the unknown. Most people will never do this. They will stay in the loop of familiarity because it feels safe. But those who disrupt their patterns, those who embrace the discomfort of change, they become powerful. They become unrecognizable. Presence is power. It is the invisible force that makes people turn their heads when you walk into a room. It is not about being the loudest or the most dominant. It is about the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the energy you radiate. If you want to become unrecognizable in just 1 week, mastering your presence is non-negotiable. Most people go through life unaware of the signals they send to the world. They slouch, avoid eye contact, speak hesitantly, and shrink in social situations. They are physically present but energetically absent. And as a result, they are overlooked, underestimated, and forgotten. But when you master your presence, you become impossible to ignore. The first step is understanding that presence begins with self-perception. The way you see yourself dictates the way others see you. If you believe you are insignificant, your body language will reflect that. If you see yourself as someone with purpose, confidence, and strength, the world will respond accordingly. You don't need to say a word, your presence will speak for you. Start by fixing your posture. Stand tall with your shoulders back and your chest open. This isn't just about looking confident, it's about feeling confident. Studies show that body language influences emotions. If you carry yourself with strength, you will feel stronger. When you feel stronger, people will sense it. Eye contact is another powerful tool. Most people break eye contact too quickly out of discomfort or insecurity. But true presence is about connection. When you speak to someone, hold eye contact just a little longer than usual. Not in an intimidating way, but in a way that shows certainty and focus. It communicates that you are grounded, that you are present in the moment, that you are someone who commands respect. Your voice is a direct reflection of your confidence. People with weak presence often speak too softly, too quickly, or with uncertainty in their tone. If you want to master your presence, slow down your speech. Speak with clarity and intention. Eliminate filler words like and Every word you say should carry weight. People should feel that when you speak, it matters. Your energy is the most powerful aspect of your presence. It cannot be faked. Have you ever met someone who, without saying much, completely captivated a room? That's because presence is about more than just body language and speech. It's about inner power. It's about how deeply you believe in yourself and your mission. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You simply exist with certainty, and people feel that. To cultivate this energy, you must remove self-doubt. You must stop seeking validation from others. Presence is diminished the moment you start caring about what people think of you. The most magnetic people are those who are comfortable in their own skin. They are not desperate for approval. They move with confidence because they know who they are. Another way to strengthen your presence is by listening. Most people think presence is about speaking, but it's just as much about how you listen. When someone speaks to you, be fully engaged. Give them your full attention. People are drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard. This level of focus makes you unforgettable. Presence is not about arrogance. It is about certainty. It is about stepping into a room and owning your space, not by force, but by the sheer power of how you exist. When you master your presence, people don't just notice you, they respect you, they remember you, and in just 1 week you will no longer be the same person. You will be unrecognizable. Most people dream of change. They talk about who they want to become, the life they want to live, the confidence they want to build, but talk is cheap. Nothing changes until you take relentless action. If you want to be unrecognizable in just 1 week, you don't have time for hesitation. You don't have time for excuses. You have to commit fully and completely to doing the work. The difference between those who transform and those who stay the same is simple: action. Not just occasional effort, not just moments of motivation, but consistent, unbreakable, relentless action. The kind of action that forces results, that leaves no room for doubt. When you commit at this level, change is inevitable. The problem is that most people hesitate. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect mood, the perfect circumstances. They say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll do it when I feel ready. But readiness is a lie. If you wait for the perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. That's why action must come first. Action creates readiness. The moment you decide to move, without waiting, without overthinking, you take control of your future. And that is the mindset you need to adopt. Action first, feeling second. Stop waiting to feel confident before you take action. Take action first, and confidence will follow. For the next 7 days, this must be your reality. Every single day you must do something that pushes you closer to your goal. Not when it's convenient, not when you're motivated. Every single day without fail, because the moment you allow yourself to make excuses, you lose momentum. Relentless action is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. It means cutting out distractions, eliminating wasted time, and focusing only on what moves the needle. Look at how you spend your day. How much time is lost on social media, mindless entertainment, or conversations that add no value to your life? If you want to be unrecognizable in 1 week, you cannot afford to waste a single moment. Start by setting clear, non-negotiable commitments. If you say you're going to wake up early, there is no debate. If you say you're going to work out, it's not a question, it's happening. If you say you're going to speak with confidence, you don't shrink back. You follow through, no matter what. This level of discipline will separate you from the person you were yesterday. It will not be easy. Your mind will resist. It will try to convince you to take a break, to slow down, to wait until tomorrow. But you must override this voice. Understand that discomfort is the price of transformation. If you push through it, you will emerge stronger. But if you give in, you will stay exactly where you are. People who commit to relentless action don't operate based on how they feel. They operate based on who they want to become. They don't wait for motivation, they create it through movement. The more action you take, the more momentum you build. The more momentum you build, the faster you change. This is why some people make massive transformations while others stay the same. The ones who change are the ones who refuse to stop. They don't just try, they commit. They don't just talk, they execute, and because of that, their results are undeniable. But by the end of this week, if you have truly committed to relentless action, you will not recognize yourself. The old you, the hesitant, uncertain, stagnant version will be gone. In their place will be someone stronger, sharper, and more powerful. And that is how you become unrecognizable. Not by waiting, not by wishing, by acting. One of the biggest obstacles to personal transformation is the weight of other people's opinions. Most people live their lives trapped by the fear of what others will think. They hesitate to speak their minds, to take bold action, or to become the person they truly want to be because they are constantly seeking approval. But if you want to become powerful and unrecognizable in just 1 week, you must let go of this need for validation. Think about it. How much of your life has been shaped by other people's expectations? How many times have you held yourself back because you were afraid of judgment? The truth is, no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. If you succeed, people will criticize you. If you fail, they will talk about you. If you stay the same, they will ignore you. So why live for their opinion? The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who are liked by everyone. They are the ones who are respected because they stand firm in who they are. They do not bend their identity to fit into someone else's version of success. They move with conviction, regardless of whether others approve. Detaching from opinions does not mean being arrogant or dismissive. It means understanding that your worth is not tied to external validation. It means recognizing that most people's opinions are based on their own insecurities, fears, and limited perspectives. What they think of you is a reflection of them, not you. When you make big changes in your life, people will resist. Not because your transformation is wrong, but because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. Some will mock you, some will doubt you, some will try to pull you back to who you used to be. Do not let them. Your mission in life is not to be liked, it is to be authentic. The moment you stop caring about impressing others is the moment you step into real power. Because now you are no longer controlled by their expectations. You are free to act, to move, to evolve without hesitation. For the next 7 days, challenge yourself to break free from approval-seeking behavior. If you catch yourself holding back a thought, speak up. If you find yourself dressing, acting, or making decisions based on what others will think, stop immediately. Instead, ask yourself, what do I want? Who do I choose to be? Let those answers guide you, not fear, not insecurity, and certainly not the opinions of people who do not walk in your shoes. This shift will be uncomfortable at first. You might feel exposed, vulnerable, even uncertain. That's normal. But on the other side of this discomfort is freedom, a version of you who no longer second guesses every move, a version of you who walks into any room with confidence, not because people approve of you, but because you approve of yourself. Understand this. Most people who criticize others are too afraid to take action in their own lives. Do not take advice from those who have not built what you are trying to build. Do not take criticism from those who are unwilling to change themselves. Instead, surround yourself with people who push you forward, who respect your growth, who challenge you to be better. By the end of this week, if you commit to detaching from the opinions of others, you will feel a shift. You will stand taller, speak with more conviction, and move without hesitation. The doubts and insecurities that once held you back will fade. And when people look at you, they won't recognize you anymore, because now you are no longer a person controlled by external validation. You are powerful, untouchable, and unshakable. You have become unrecognizable. Power is not just about dominance, confidence, or sheer force. True power is about impact. It's about walking into a room and not just demanding attention, but deserving it because of the value you bring. People might respect strength, but they follow value. If you want to become truly unrecognizable in just 1 week, you must shift your focus from simply appearing strong to becoming someone who radiates value in everything you do. Most people make the mistake of thinking that power is about making themselves look important. They try to be the loudest voice in the room, to prove they are smarter, to show off their achievements. But real influence doesn't work that way. The people who have the strongest presence, the ones others gravitate toward, are those who give more than they take. They don't just posture, they provide. And then just demand attention. They earn it. Ask yourself this. What value do you bring to the people around you? Do you inspire others? Do you challenge them to think bigger? Do you make them feel heard and understood? Or are you just focused on looking successful? If you want to be unforgettable, you need to shift your mindset from how can I look powerful to how can I make an impact. People are drawn to those who make their lives better, whether through knowledge, energy, encouragement, or leadership. Strength alone is intimidating, but value is magnetic. To radiate value, start by listening more than you speak. Most people are desperate to be heard, but few take the time to truly listen. When you listen, you gain insight. You understand people's needs, their struggles, their goals. And when you understand, you can offer something that actually matters, whether it's advice, support, or a shift in perspective. Next, focus on elevating the people around you. Powerful people don't just make themselves better, they make everyone around them better too. If you see someone struggling, help them. If you know something that could change someone's life, share it. If you have the ability to push someone toward greatness, do it. The more value you bring, the more irreplaceable you become. Another way to radiate value is by mastering your craft. Whatever you do, do it with excellence. Be someone who people turn to because they trust your expertise, your wisdom, and your results. The more skilled you become, the more undeniable you are. People respect those who don't just talk about success, but embody it through their action. But perhaps the most important way to radiate value is through authenticity. Strength without authenticity feels hollow. People can sense when someone is trying too hard to impress. But when you are real, when you own who you are without pretense, you create a presence that is both powerful and genuine. And that combination is unstoppable. This transformation does not take years. It takes intention. In just 1 week, you can shift how you interact with the world. You can stop trying to look powerful and start becoming valuable. You can become someone whose presence isn't just noticed, but felt. And when you do that, people will see you differently, not because you forced them to, but because you have become a person worth noticing. Not just strong, but impactful. Not just impressive, but unforgettable. And that is how you become truly unrecognizable.